This is the second time we've seen the acting Raw general manager in the ring tonight, but this time she has a special announcement.
Here's hoping this goes more smoothly than her stint as special guest referee.
As GM, I'm not deaf to the concerns of the WWE Universe. Specifically, that my involvement in our #1 contender match earlier tonight may have made it look like management was biased towards Becky Lynch. I assure you, my intent as GM is simply to put on the best show for the WWE Universe. And that applies to not just Raw, but Survivor Series. As such, it is my duty to inform you that Bianca Belair will not be defending the Women's World Championship this weekend.
Bianca's being pulled from Survivor Series?
She will not be defending this weekend because it's clear Bayley and Becky Lynch are not done yet. I just hope they have allies to rally to their side. 8 fighters, 2 teams of 4. War Games!
War Games at Survivor Series? I'm not missing this one.
Oh, we're paid to be there, Saxton.
I know, but it's still incredibly exciting.
I probably should be upset at you for putting another hurdle in front of my title match. But honestly, fair play.
Glad we're okay.
We are, and I respect your hustle. You've made a lot of bold choices since coming to WWE. It's one of the reasons I want you to be on my War Games team.
Oh. Really?
I like your instincts, especially when you get in trouble and have to think quickly on your feet. Heck, I even trust your instincts. Team with me, and I'll let you pick the rest of the War Games team.
Let me think about it.
You really did it this time, didn't you, you dummy?
I think you'd be happy that you're getting another opportunity to earn the title match in War Games.
Should have just booked the War Games match from the start, honestly. Want to be on my team?
Why do you want me on your team?
I think it's pretty clear from your time as GM that you've been going into business for yourself here and just doing whatever you can to scrape by. And that's exactly what I look for in damage control. So what do you say? Join me, Dakota, and Io in the fight to secure my WWE Women's World Championship match?
I'll get back to you.
Hey, I've been looking for you. I thought we were gonna meet outside of catering.
Turns out I was pretty busy in here. Both Becky and Bayley want me to be on their War Games team.
You can't be serious. You loused this up so badly, and they both want you on their team?
What can I say? I'm a catch.
I swear, there's something in the water around here that allows you to walk away from the consequences of your actions unscathed. I'm sure putting yourself into the main event while you're also acting GM will be no different.
Thanks for another great promoter lecture.
Look, I know you're gonna do it anyway. Who are you teaming with?
So, Becky, definitely.
Becky said she'd let me pick the rest of the team. I'm joining her side.
Can't wait for you to get absolutely no flack for putting yourself into the match that you set up. Have you decided who else you'll ask to join you and Becky?
Becky and the captain are still celebrating their epic War Games victory.
And why wouldn't they? You're now looking at the #1 contender for the Women's World Championship and the GM who put her in that position.
This will go a long way in shaping the future of the women's division on Raw. Shotzi? Is that a full-size tank?
Oh my God, Shotzi came prepared. I guess she graduated into something larger.
She's not stopping.
This is gonna be bad.
I don't want to watch, but I can't take my eyes off what's about to happen.
Shotzi just picked up speed. She's gonna rail the cage. Into the side.
And down they go. This is bad.
I can't believe what just happened.
We need some help out here, fast.
Whatever her issue was, Shotzi took things way too far here tonight.
What the hell was Shotzi doing? I've had no problem with her.
Yeah, I may have something to do with that. Oops.
Oops. I'm gonna be out for months. Is that really all you have to say?
How about oops? I got carried away booking matches, but forgetting to manage people. At least that seems to be the case, based on what I've pieced together.
You're back.
I was having a splendid time communing with the blue-footed booby of the Galapagos. But then, I caught wind of a few questionable developments. We should talk.
I swear, I had it all under control.
I watched Shotzi crash a tank into the War Games cage.
Fair point.
And perhaps, even more egregiously, you announced War Games without me. That's my thing. I announce War Games.
I'm sorry?
Respectfully, you're fired from being Raw GM.
I accept.
It wasn't a question. All that being said, with our newly minted #1 contender injured, we still need a challenger for Bianca. You know, what you've consistently failed to nail down. I hate rewarding you for this mess. But I'm a much better GM than you are, so I'm going to make the right choice for the show. And unfortunately, there's someone who helped lead her team to victory who's rightfully next in line for the opportunity. You'll be getting the championship match against Bianca Belair on the next Raw.
Here we go with this so-called major
away we
announcement.
go.
I'm afraid this is a good news, bad news kind of night. And I've always been a bad news first kind of girl. So here goes. With our fearless leader, William Regal returned, looking quite tan, might I add, the time has come for me to step down as your Raw General Manager.
I actually thought she did a great job, guys.
Are you kidding me, Byron?
Well, at least it was exciting.
All right, so there may have been some mixed opinions on my stint as GM, but I'm sure that's only because we all know where I really belong, which is fighting in a WWE ring.
Not sure that's the only reason.
Which is why I'm pleased to announce, given Becky's unfortunate medical status, at the hands of someone who William Regal has assured me will be dealt with, the Real Suits have decided to name a new #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. Me!
Huge news for the Women's World title.
And that championship match is happening right now!
After all the confusion around Survivor Series, we're finally getting to see Bianca defend her championship.
So, Bianca Belair, let's...
This woman just will not stop coming after the captain.
If her grievance was big enough to get her to take down the War Games cage in a tank, did you
Always
really expect
hopeful.
her to let it go?
Hey there, friend.
Give it a rest, Shotzi. Haven't you done enough at this point?
I think what you meant to say is, thank you for making me #1 contender, Shotzi. Sorry you hurt your leg in that unfortunate tank incident.
Wait, how did you get hurt when you were driving the tank? Is this really all because I didn't give you proper credit for your terribly original idea of let's have a War Games match at Survivor Series?
And didn't even put me in the match. But no, this isn't an isolated incident. This, apparently, is just what you do. Playing in other people's sandboxes, stealing other people's ideas, and jumping every line. You may have William Regal fooled, but not me, and not the locker room.
Oh, I'm sure, Shotzi.
Cutting lines might work in TBD, but in WWE, there are consequences.
Bailey?
That's Bailey's music, but where is she?
Is Shotzi just playing mind games here?
Oh, no, it's
Bailey
fine,
from
turn out.
behind.
Shotzi's found an ally who's not okay with being skipped over for a women's world championship match.
I don't blame her. It was supposed to be either Bailey or...
An incredible victory for the
That will
captain here
do.
tonight.
She certainly solidified her
gone through
position as
that
the
one.
#1 contender.
Shotzi from behind with that crutch.
What the
Yep,
heck?
wondered how long
She
it'd
claimed
be
she was
before
injured.
She was just pulling all our legs, Cole.
Shotzi laying the boots in now.
Compared to the tank, this is nothing.
Finally, the referee getting control of the situation.
She's using that crutch on her throat. Shotzi wasn't done.
Russian leg sweep with the crutch.
At least Shotzi's made her point now, and we can finally get on to the business of the Women's World Championship next week.
I'm not so sure, Byron.
Neither am I. Based on what Shotzi said earlier, I doubt that this satisfied her desire for revenge. She's on a mission.
Does it look smaller?
Huh?
That's what kids always say when they come back home, right? They go off to the great wide world, come home, and everything looks small. Haven't seen you around here much lately.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little smaller? I was in the neighborhood. Figured I'd stop in to get a few reps in before my big match with Bianca.
Shotzi's not also in the neighborhood, is she? You know my insurance doesn't cover tanks.
I don't think you have to worry. Tanks don't get great gas mileage, so she probably won't come crashing through the wall. No promises, though.
And just when I was starting to feel nostalgic about you breaking things around here. How are you feeling after that crutch attack?
I'm fine. Can you believe Shotzi's still bitter you didn't book her in TBD? And now she's turning it into a whole thing about how I stole her so-called War Games idea.
In fairness, it's you who didn't want to book her.
What? Really?
I believe your words at the time were, I'm not impressed.
That does sound like me. But I was probably just being flippant.
Being flippant without thinking that your actions could actually have consequences? Yeah, definitely you. Then, on purpose or not, Shotzi effectively brings you up to the big leagues, and instead of any sort of thanks, you steamroll right into a fantastical whirlwind tour of all things WWE.
Let's be fair. I didn't steamroll right away. And Shotzi brought me to Raw so she could make an example of me.
Maybe, but is that also why she pitched you the idea for a War Games match when you were GM? A match you thought was a good enough idea to book but then shut her out of?
I never said it was my idea. Besides, it wasn't a groundbreaking suggestion, and everything worked out.
Right, because I'm sure the WWE Universe saw the superstar GM announce the War Games match, put herself in it, and then thought, who else can I give credit to for setting up this awesome main event? It worked out for you. And now you get a championship match against Bianca Belair. Shotzi? Not so much.
Jeez, whose side are you on, Geneva?
You know whose side I'm on. That's why I gotta be straight with you, to make sure you get your head right so you can take that title from Bianca.
You know, after ignoring WWE for so long, becoming their champion is the only thing I can dream of.
This is a moment of destiny for a woman who spent years crisscrossing the world and honing her skills before finally arriving in the big leagues of WWE.
You can really feel the electricity in the arena, Michael.
Waiting on the champion here.
It's obvious Bianca's playing mind games with her opponent.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Shotzi's vendetta against the #1 contender continues.
And it looks like she's had about enough of it.
No, guys, it's not what you think. I have a seriously heartwarming announcement. Bianca Belair can't be here tonight.
This is the second time the #1 contenders match has been called off.
No, I told you, it's actually heartwarming. Bianca was wrapping up an appearance at a nearby community center before the show when suddenly, out of nowhere, 3 buses of adorable children from a local school showed up, excited to meet the Women's World Champion. And you know how Bianca is. She wouldn't leave until everyone got a picture and an autograph. How those buses showed up just in time to prevent Bianca from making it here for her championship match tonight, we may never know. But Bianca just couldn't leave those sweet children hanging. Are you seriously booing children? Wow, what a bloodthirsty bunch you all are. I did feel bad that you didn't have a match anymore tonight, though. Oh no, it's not me. I have the night off from in-ring action, just like at War Games. But these 3 women do not.
Oh my, the Cap has history with all these women.
And we're getting word from the truck that she'll be facing them in a fatal 4-way.
I think she said to bring it on.
Easy to say, harder to survive. Shotzi's curated a formidable challenge for the #1 contender.
Honestly, I'm just impressed that Shotzi managed to curate this match and 3 busloads of children in the same day.
What? That was Shotzi?
For God's sakes, catch up, Byron. Nonetheless.
It was you, wasn't it? You're the reason I'm missing my championship match with Bianca. Again!
Oh, it's hardly my fault. Your car service was way too willing to accommodate your new itinerary. You know, they really should have some sort of security on that. Figured the least I could do was play hooky from Raw 2 so we could have a little chat.
You really want to do this here?
Fight in an airport lounge? Absolutely not. They'd never let me back in, and I love their little mini cupcakes too much. I just want what's mine.
What exactly is that, Shotzi? I can't go back in time and hire you at TBD. I can't go back and put you in War Games. Your obsession with me is unhealthy.
What's unhealthy is theft. And I'm not just talking about War Games. You may have gotten a free pass from Regal to waltz around WWE, ripping off other people's ideas, moves, and gear, but you didn't get a free pass from me. You're the #1 contender. That should be me. Put it on the line in a match. Win or lose, we are done after that.
If it means never having to deal with your BS again, fine, you're on. But only because there's no way I lose.
After years of antagonism, Cap has finally put Shotzi behind her. What a win.
I don't think Shotzi got the memo, Saxton. She's not going to take this insult lying down.
Spear out of nowhere from Bianca Belair.
The Women's World Champion just obliterated Shotzi.
Looks like Bianca's just as tired of Shotzi's shenanigans as anyone.
And now the champion and the #1 contender are facing off.
We may not have to wait for a match. This could jump off right here.
It's finally happening. The #1 contender and the Women's World Champion will finally go one-on-one.
It's about darn time.
This is going to be an epic clash for that championship, and I can't wait to see it.
Thanks for having my back out there.
I was annoyed. Honestly, I think the whole WWE universe was.
So, guess this means we're finally gonna get our match, huh?
You're pretty excited for someone who's about to get handled.
I see how it is. Well, you just go ahead and underestimate me, champ.
Oh, I don't underestimate you at all. I've seen your stuff on the indies. I know you can go, but so can I.
You've watched my indie matches? I didn't know you'd be into that.
What? Just because I started wrestling at WWE and never had an independent run doesn't mean I can't appreciate what you did there. I mean, that dive off the balcony against La Congrejita Loca? Wild. Self-destructive and probably ill-advised, but wild.
Man, if you had ever been a free agent when I was in TBD, I would have gladly jumped off a balcony against you too.
That sounds like a blast, except I'm the one who would have been doing the jumping. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with how I came up, but I do sometimes wonder what an indie career would have been like for me. It sounds like an adventure.
Huh.
What?
Just gets me thinking about our match.
About whether I'm going to pin or submit you?
No, well, not exactly. Someone recently pointed out that I was lucky enough to experience a fantastical whirlwind tour when I got to WWE. I got to have the adventure. I'm wondering if I should pay it forward.
What do you have in mind?
You're confident you're gonna beat me anyway, right?
Anytime, any place.
I was really hoping you'd say that.
TBD.
You want to do what?
It's just going to be 2 matches.
Best of 3 series. So yeah, it might go 2 if Bianca really has no fight in her.
It'll probably go 2. That's as many as I need.
It's not the best of 3 series that gives me pause. It's the locales. It is the usual custom to defend the WWE Women's World Championship on WWE TV.
Sure, we could do that if we want to stick with what's comfortable. Or, get this, we fight for the Women's World Championship in the coolest indie arenas around.
Japan? Mexico? We could even go back to your old stomping grounds in the UK. Honestly, sounds like a great way to push that grassroots international exposure you business types are always talking about.
And you know what else it sounds like?
Oh, I'm positive you'll tell me.
It sounds like a big swing. It sounds like taking advantage of every opportunity on the table. And it sounds like doing something different without being afraid to fail.
I know what you're getting at, and I'm not sure I like you turning my words back on me.
I'm sorry to interject, but this is ridiculous. It's unheard of. Allowing a WWE champion to defend at these underground indie shows? Untelevised? What about the advertisers?
Advertisers? Really?
I'm afraid Troy makes an excellent point. Marketing will hate this.
See?
Fortunately, this is not a marketing company. This is a professional wrestling company. a professional wrestling company that's going to take a swing, and whose general manager cannot wait to get on the road. The only question is, where to first?
Don't look at me. This is your world. I'm just the adventuring tourist who gets to hit you, wherever you so choose.
It may be my world, but I say we make it your world to start. What if we go back to your old territory? Match 1 at Club UK.
God save the king.
Cutscene coming up. Okay. Yeah. Knew that was coming, didn't I? I really have to cut that crap out. I hate it when I do the full storyline like that. What's the point of me even playing the match if I'm going to lose anyway? If you've decided I'm losing anyway, you know.
Dear, dear, dear. That cannot have gone as you'd hoped.
Oh, he's a right old Sherlock, he is, ain't he?
No. Everything went exactly according to my plan of getting hit in the face a bunch.
Are you regretting giving Bianca the invitation into the Indies?
Not at all. I miss the intimacy of a smaller show, the interaction with the fans. Just didn't expect Bianca to pull the same energy from the crowd quite as easily as she did.
Bianca got very comfortable very quickly.
If she had come up in the Indies, I would have wanted her for TBD. But that's not gonna stop me from beating her at our next stop.
Which raises the question, where to next on this great tour of the world?
I've been giving that some thought with an ice pack on my jaw. Bianca hits hard, and so do I. So let's go to the home of strong style, Japan.
Sure,
Makes sense.
if you buy at the Japanese steakhouse we always go to.
Deal. That feels like a fitting celebration once I beat Bianca. But only the food. I'm not buying you another jacket.
Ladies, it appears that you two will be going to a final match.
Fitting, really. Winning that championship will be even sweeter after going the full series.
Don't get cocky. No way you beating me twice in a row.
Before you two launch into a witty repartee, I have an update. I've just spoken to the suits in Stamford. They have thoughts.
Well, that's never good.
Word of your genuinely marvelous matches has spread, and so has the buzz. They were insistent that the next match will be on WWE television.
They want us to do the match on Raw? You promised us we could see this through in indie arenas.
Indeed I did, so I reached an agreement. We will be producing a portion of next week's Raw live from the location of your final match.
Oh, wow. Listen, I know this is a stretch, but how would you both feel about having the match at
TBD? Yes, a surprising and unexpected suggestion from you, which is why I have already given instructions for the road crew to meet us there.
Wow. It's going to be super embarrassing to lose on your home turf. But I, for one, am here for it. One idea, though.
What's that?
With everything I know about TBD, and since it's the final match, kind of seems like it should be no DQ, right?
Bianca Belair? You have no idea what you just asked for. Deal. Geneva is gonna freak.
Yep, I'm getting screwed.
Wow.
I'll second that wow. And raise you a hot damn.
They really got to work in here, didn't they? Can you believe it?
After the hectic morning I've had with the crew to get this set up, I can. Had to yell at some guy named Troy a lot. He kept wanting to cover up the TBD signage with Raw logos entirely.
Sounds like Troy. I'm really glad that I could do this for you, Geneva. For us. Did you ever imagine that we'd be here?
Honestly, you main eventing a TBD show feels pretty familiar to me. This one just has more logos.
You know what I mean? This is different. Later tonight, I'm gonna win the WWE Women's World Championship in the house we built.
Living the dream. Hey, you get ready. I've got some contracts to look at.
Same as always. But seriously, don't get too caught up in paperwork that you forget to enjoy yourself tonight. This is big. Big, big.
I know. It is. And I won't. But I also know you'll enjoy this enough for the both of us. Good luck out there.
I just hope it's a clean.
2! And just like that, this journey for the woman they call the Captain reaches a conclusion with a victory over Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is no 70,000 seat stadium, but on this night, in this small theater, this audience feels like WrestleMania.
Well, there's nothing like WrestleMania, but I think it means a little bit more to this superstar that her first championship win happened here.
A full circle moment, Corey. This woman has followed a long and winding road that brought her back to her beginning.
What's next for this superstar? This WWE champion? The sky's the limit.
What's Becky Lynch doing here?
Becky was the #1 contender until she got injured after War Games.
Becky's not moving like she's injured now. What does she want?
What do you think, Saxton?
No, 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 no. Not in my ring.
TBD promoter Geneva Rose is not having it.
I get she's ride or die with our new champion, but what's she gonna do to stop Becky Lynch?
You got WWE problems. Go settle them on WWE time. Because believe me when I say, if anyone tries to interrupt my best friend's hard-won moment, it's gonna be me.
No, they've been friends for
What
years.
Don't trust anybody.
This is an assault.
This is karma, Saxton. You can only step on so many people before you pay the piper.
And she's paying now, but for what?
Thanks for coming home, Cap. It was so generous for you to put this show together for me. I know you think I'm slumming it around here, but you forget that I'm proud of what we built together. And I know you're used to taking the credit for everything. So I thought it was important for me to make an appearance tonight, to set the record straight. You'd be nothing without me. Let me be clear. I am not just some best friend side character in your hero's journey. What do you think I've been doing since you left?
sitting around and just following your career with rapt attention? You moved on. I didn't. And I've been putting everything I have into growing TBD. So, when Becky approached me, I was more than happy to help turn your moment into my moment.
You can feel the bitterness from Geneva Rose, the jealousy.
Recognize this? The contract we wrote in the diner when we first started TBD. Yeah, I had it framed. Thought it was a nice touch. Especially now, because according to this legally binding document, you're still signed exclusively to TBD. You can't work anywhere else. You can't be champion anywhere else. And you belong to me.
But she's a WWE superstar.
Not according to Geneva Rose.
See you next week, Cap. Don't be late.